Now, I like the jugs, and the reason why I like the jugs is because, first of all, you should always take your blade off your clipper. Never stick your clipper down into this jug, because if you're anything like me, I have a tendency to go like this, and then all that liquid runs down into my clipper. Fries everything out in your clipper. Big no-no, don't do that. The easiest way for me is take the blade off the clipper, dip just the blade in there, because you can saturate this whole thing. I've literally dropped my whole blade down in it before. You can stick your blade down in there, use a brush. You can get another H42 brush or even a toothbrush. I like to use toothbrushes, but you can use another H42 brush. I just wouldn't use the same brush that you're going to brush the top of your clipper head off with, because then you're going to be, again, getting it down into your clipper. So dip the teeth in, use the brush to get in between the teeth of your blade, because that's where all of that dander and parvo and nasty gunk gets stuck, is in between the teeth. So you want to make sure you're getting in between there. Slide your cutter to the side and clean anything that's still on that surface. Now, if you pull your blade off your clipper and it has a lot of hair, use the brush that you use to brush the top of your clipper head. Use that to get the hair off of your blade. If you push your cutter, you'll actually see, especially on ceramics are notorious for it, there will be tons of hair trapped on the back of this cutter. So just brush all that hair off with your dry brush before you dip it into your cleaner. That way you're not getting all of that into your cleaner either. Now, once you have cleaned, dry it off with a paper towel. You can use a rag, whatever you feel comfortable using. Once you dry it off, re-oil your blade. Now, at this point, what you're going to want to do daily, especially if it's the end of your day, is you're going to want to do the 5 points of oiling. So why we call it the 5 points of oiling is you put a drip of oil on each of the rails. I'm not sure if you all know what a rail is, but this, if you look at the back of your blade, there's a little lip for the teeth and a little rail at the back toward the back of the blade. That is the rail. When you hear people talk about the rail, you want to put a drop of oil on each one of that side, slide your cutter again, put a drop of oil on each of this side, and then just a drop on this part of your cutter that glides back and forth under your glide. That little, sometimes white or red, I think I've even seen blue, that's called the glide of your blade. Now, if that glide is ever missing and you don't have a plastic glide right there, you're going to want to get your sharpener or order a glide from one of the parts companies to be able to replace that glide, because that glide is what allows your blade to actually slide back and forth. Now, as you can see, I can push this fairly well. It's forward. You don't have to. If you can't do that with your blades, where that cutter slips back and forth fairly easily without much effort, your blade is too tight. And I can show you one. I was playing with these blades earlier. Oh, that one. One of these blades, like, I had to push really hard to get that one to move. And then if you have to push really hard to get your blade to move, your clipper is having to push that hard too. So it's this one. Like, I can barely move that one with my fingers. If you had to push that hard, you don't want to put that blade on your clipper. You're going to need to get that blade looked at. Now, you can adjust that yourself if you would like. It's not hard, but just forewarning, it is not the screws on the back of your blade. I've had a lot of people here recently that I've been telling how to adjust their tension on their blade. Now, your sharpeners adjust these, and we're going to get into that later too, of how to know if you should hand your equipment to a sharpener. Like if it's somebody that walks into your door and you want to give them a try, what 5 questions should you ask before you hand them your equipment?